Now, as we already know what are horizontal and vertical lines, so now we are going to find x and y intercept. We already know that the equation for x-axis is y equals 0 and the equation for y-axis is x equals 0. Any line which is parallel to y-axis, it is given as x equals a positive constant, and which is parallel to y towards this side is given as x equals a negative constant. Similarly, any line which is parallel to x-axis towards the positive side of y is given as y equals any positive value, say 3. Any line which is parallel to x and on the negative side of y can be y equals any constant, say -3 over here. These positive constants and negative constant can have any values. Now let us see what are the intercepts in this case. Corresponding to y equals 3. If I look at the equation y equals 3, it can also be represented as y equals 0 times x plus 3. This 0 is the slope and is 0, and the intercept in this case is 3, which is b, because we are comparing this equation with y equals mx plus b, so the intercept in this case is 3. This is the vertical intercept because it is cutting y-axis. Similarly, y equals -3 has a vertical intercept that is -3. Similarly, corresponding to y equals -3, the value of m is 0 and the value of the intercept is -3. There are no horizontal intercept or x-intercept corresponding to the lines y equals 3 and y equals -3 because these lines are parallel to x-axis. They are not going to cut x-axis at any of the point. So there are no x-intercept corresponding to this. So there are no x-intercept for the lines y equals a constant. This constant can be a positive constant and a negative constant also. For any line which is y equals constant or it is parallel to x-axis, there is no x-intercept. Similarly, for the lines which are parallel to y-axis, parallel to y-axis can be written as x equals a positive or negative constant, and for such lines we have only x-intercept. We have only these intercepts, and these are nothing but the x-intercepts. So there are no y-intercept because these lines are parallel to y-axis, so no y-intercept corresponding to the lines x equals constant, and corresponding to line y equals constant there is no x-intercept. Now what can we say about the slope of such lines? Any lines which are x equals constant are perpendicular or they make an angle of 90 degree with x-axis. In such cases, m equals tan of 90 degree and is undefined or infinite, we can say. So for all the lines which are parallel to parallel to y-axis, they are represented in terms of x, and there are no y-intercept, and slope corresponding to them is infinite. Slope corresponding to them is infinite. And for the lines which are y equals constant, they are parallel to x-axis, they have y-intercept, and the angle corresponding to or angle with the x-axis is 0. That's why this m is 0 for the lines which are y equals constant. For the lines parallel to x-axis, m is 0. Only y-intercept is there because they are represented in terms of y. For the lines which are represented in terms of x, we have only x-intercept, and m in this case is undefined.